All right, so it's 17 singles left at this point. All right. And the first question I have about this episode is, Will, what is up with those crochet sweaters? Like, is this some brand that we don't know about, or maybe you guys know about that I don't know about? Like, I want somebody that interviews him by the end of the season to ask him what was up with those crochet sweaters that he was wearing, at least in these first couple of episodes. I want to know. We're about to review episode 3 of Ready to Love, Dallas Fort Worth, okay? The season is already giving something, wouldn't you say? So if you've been watching so far, you know that Tommy has already thrown a curveball to us, and he has divided the singles up into 2 groups of 10, all right? One person didn't show up, and that was Glenn. I feel like Glenn is probably happy that he made that decision, okay? But the 2 groups have to meet now. All right, so this is the episode where the 2 groups meet. I just want to give this disclaimer for anybody that may have never ever watched Ready to Love. This is a game show where singles compete. Please don't imagine any weddings or anything like that. They are filming for an obscene amount of hours, and we only get 45 minutes, so it's possible for a lot to get misconstrued. Oh, and just because you hear somebody say something doesn't mean they said it when we see it. All right, that's all I got right now. We're gonna get into the review. So they're at this brunch and they're mixing. And so everybody's kind of walking around talking to everybody. So you got Lamar and April, they sit down, that they were clashing, their personalities were clashing, and he dismissed her, but she was like, no, you didn't. And I don't know, I just knew they were gonna butt heads. Now, I will say that the way April was saying, you know, when she asked Lamar the question about how long he had been married or how long ago he was married or something like that, when she was like, because I asked you, like, I was kind of taken aback by how she said that, but I knew it wasn't going to work at that point. Like, but then Lamar goes to another date with Patrice, and everything was going good. He really likes Patrice. I can see that. But somewhere in the conversation, he said, I want to jump your bones. Like, this is my thing about Lamar, right? I feel like the word that I would use to describe Lamar would be brazen. Like, he's not like he's, you know, he's one of those guys that feel like he's being truthful and upfront and honest, but he doesn't seem to have any care about other people's feelings, or like any consideration for like other people's feelings, or even boundaries sometimes, because who says to somebody, I want to jump your bones, and we're just meeting, you know what I mean? And there's a couple of other examples of how he is just being brazen. I just think he needs to find a balance between like his assertiveness and then kind of embrace consideration for others more than he is right now. Then we see Jonathan and Koshia, and Jonathan has been dry with a few of the ladies, but he's definitely doesn't have a connection with Koshia. They're not feeling each other. Like, Lamar asked Vanessa the question of, would she go skinny dipping on the first date, and, you know, before. And so he comes this time to Vanessa and William were talking, and then Lamar comes over to interrupt, and I'm like, why do you need to do this? Like, you don't really, you know, there's no connection. So he pulls her to the side and he tries to get her to scream, and who knows what else he was asking. And she wouldn't do it, and then they show him saying that, you know, well, she's a little bit too reserved for me and not his cup of tea. Patrice likes William, and she wants to peel him like a banana. And then Patrice goes on a date with LaRon, and they really played up this catfish thing. Like, the catfish was so good. Like, I know they were at that date for at least an hour, and I know that more was said. But, you know, of course, OWN has to, like, at least have one scene in there to be like, see, y'all, we do feed people. We feed people. See, okay, we get it. We get it. All right. But I feel like that date wasn't that dry. I don't know. But I don't think that they're a match either. So then April has a conversation with Jonathan, right? And Jonathan, I knew by the looks on Jonathan's face that he already knew there was no connection. But April seems to be rubbing the men the wrong way with her, like, line or style of questioning. I don't know what it is, but Jonathan referred to her as aggressive, and then he said something about, Jonathan refers to April as aggressive, and then he said that he doesn't want that type of negativity. So I don't know what she said in totality, but Jonathan doesn't want any. And Lamar actually is going to refer to April as aggressive in the men's lounge. So here we go with this word again. I don't know if people are going to go up in arms about it again. But every season it seems like, this is a thing, at least every other season. The men, when they got to the men's lounge, the men weren't feeling April at all. And Lamar, like I said, he referred to her as aggressive. So April and Koshia end up at the bottom. And so Alonzo goes out with Koshia and April goes out with Lamar, right? So April thought that Lamar was trying to redeem himself and she, I think, was expecting an apology, but she got a rude awakening because they sent her home, okay? And then so Koshia and Alonzo, they're at this date. Koshia said that Alonzo had crossed some lines prior to their date on a phone conversation that they had. And so that comes up at the table, and apparently they were asking questions back and forth, like black or white, lights on or off. I don't know, but choked or spanked got said. And I will agree with Koshia. It does automatically go to sexual connotation because, what are we doing? He would have been better off just to be like, when it happened, just to be like, oh, my bad, and just not touch that again. But the fact that he kept bringing it up was crazy. I know production was probably intertwined in that and having him repeat stuff and stuff like that. But at some point, you have to, tap out and be like, okay, no, I'm not going to do this because it doesn't make sense. You're being recorded and somebody just told you that they don't want to have a conversation about something and here your silly ass go talking about it again. I don't get that. I didn't get that. I don't know. I didn't get that. You know what I mean? Anyway, but my point is like I said, put it in Google. Put it in Google or ChatGPT and see what happens. I don't know. I think it was inappropriate, but it wasn't even the fact that it was inappropriate. It's the fact that he wouldn't stop talking about it after she asked him not to talk about it. Okay, so you asked the question and I said what I said, and I feel like he wanted to get some of the, it felt like either he wanted to get more of the conversation on camera or production was pressing him to carry out whatever their agenda was. And it didn't look like he was thinking for himself. So I don't know. I guess it'll all come out. We will see. These are just my views and opinions from what I saw on TV. All right. So next week, the ladies have the power. Somebody named Justin joins and the women have a little friction. All right. Get in the comments below. Let me know, what do you think about this season so far? We waited a long time for this second installment of the Dallas seasons, right? I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like I was forced to watch Ready to Love make a move because Dallas second season wasn't airing. So I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on that, but I'm enjoying this season so far, and I can't wait to see how the season plays out and see what kind of other curveballs Tommy may have. All right. Get in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the show. I'm your girl, Demetra Jo, and I'll see you guys in the next video.